Good morning, everyone. This is Diane. I'm bringing you with me today to do some work on the Raggedy Ann journals. I'm at my sewing machine, as you can see, so I'll be working on some of the sewing aspects. This is the second signature. I have the first signature here, and I think the first signature is done. So I'm going to work on these two signatures. I'll be taking the little cards that I put inside the pockets and adding the fabric tabs. These are images from the old design shop. I printed them onto copy paper and then stitched them to coffee dyed paper. So I just want to add some fabric tabs to these. I have a scrap of red gingham right here, I just used it for something else. I don't want to cover up too much of the picture. That'll be good, I think. So I'm going to do a stitch closer to the fold, which will make it easier for me to sew it to the paper. It stitches the front and the back together, so I don't have to worry about it shifting when I stitch it to the paper. Plus, I like it stitched up there because it closes that loop. I mentioned my memories of Raggedy Ann in my video yesterday, and a lot of you have some sweet memories of Raggedy Ann also. My friend Eve from where is she from? Switzerland. Jeepers. Is enjoying this video, but she has had never heard of Raggedy Ann until she heard me talking about her on my channel. And I just saw, I think it was on Junk Journal Junkies, I saw that Teresa LaFrance had just done a video, or had just made a Raggedy Ann journal, which was beautiful. I don't know if she did a video, I just saw pictures on Junk Journal Junkies. On Facebook. This little piece of fabric that I just sewed on is feed sack fabric. Okay, and I already have the laces sewn on the fronts of these. What else do I need? I need to have some fabric flips on the next pages. I searched for and found my large Stampin' Up! Lined stamp, which I should be using a lot more than I do. You know, I have so many stamps that I forget to use what I have. But I also opened my new Stays On black ink, and it's pretty wet and it went through, but this one's my journal, so I don't care. So I want to do some patchworky, feed sacky fabrics here. I like that one. So this is printed fabric. It's not really patchwork, obviously. I wouldn't be able to be tearing it like this if it was real patchwork. Guess I'll have to cut this edge and then kind of fray it myself. It was crooked, but I didn't want to tear. I'll just take a pin and go along the edge and it helps fray it. And then I'll look for one of my feed sack hexagons. The one right on top is pretty nice. And a little bit of vintage crochet trim. And just sew it on. So I think that is done on there, but I want to add something right here. There's another feed sack fabric. I like the homespun quality of the feed sack fabrics. Now I had a piece of cotton fabric, vintage, that I wanted to put here. And it was a larger square, and I went to tear it to make it a little smaller, and it tore like that, so it must have been cut on the bias, but I like the way that looks, so I don't mind that. I think I'll just sew that patch right on there. I'm going to look for a little piece of eyelet, I think, to add to the top of that, a narrow eyelet. Yeah, that'll work. Isn't that pretty? I don't know which side is the front. That one, I guess. do something similar here. I think I'll contrast the red with this really pretty blue. I like that, you know, these are pieced together, but they're such big squares that it makes it a big piece. Too big for most of the junk journal projects. But they're some pretty cool fabrics. What do I want there? Maybe this. Yeah, I think I like that. Actually, I want a hexagon here. Something that will contrast with both of these and show up on its own. That one's pretty good. I think I like that one. And again, the vintage lace. I got this card at a flea market and quite a bit there, but I did not divide it up and put some in my shop because I think it's one of those trims and I'm just gonna use and use and use, and I've been using it a lot, so I think I'll be able to use that myself. Usually if there's a large quantity, I share it in my shop. Here's the other piece of that one that tore into a triangle. I'll use a green piece. I don't think I've used very much green. These little calico floral prints just look like the little floral dresses that Raggedy Ann has in her drawings, in her illustrations in her books. Oh, speaking of illustrations, I had said that the illustrations in these illustrations were by Worth Gruhl, and they are. It has his name right there, who is Johnny Gruhl's brother, but someone corrected me on that. He is Johnny Gruhl's son, which is pretty cool that the father and the son collaborated on that. I had read somewhere about who, I had seen the signature Worth Gruhl, and so I looked up to see who Worth Gruhl was, and it had been a while ago, so I didn't look it up again before I spoke on yesterday's video. I like that gingham. I don't think I have a wider red gingham, but that little piece is cute. This is a very vintage crochet trim. Yeah, I like that. When I start a project, I pull out fabrics and trims that I think will work with it, and then I have them handy right here. It makes a mess on my desk while I'm working, but I don't have to go looking for things. They're right here. Alright, so those 2 pages are done. Let me put them back where they belong. Let's see what else we have to do at the sewing machine. I feel like I sound like a man today. I don't have a cold. I just have a lot of, I don't know. I wake up like this, and I've been awake for a while. But I'm still, I don't talk very much because I'm here by myself, so you're getting my morning hoarseness. Okay, so I think on these little pages, I am just going to add a little scrap of trim or fabric. I'll show you what I did on this one. I have that little piece of trim, and then I used one of the color form pieces and added 2 pieces of the puzzle for Raggedy Ann. There are 6 pieces to put her together, so I can add 2 in each signature, and I have some more hexagons up there. Okay, so what do I want to do here? I have this longer strip of the sawtooth trim. I don't want it to be too heavy on these flimsy pages, though. Where's all my trim? Okay, I have this pretty trim here. I'll cut that in a banner shape, fishtail. It's white on white, so I want a little bit of contrast there. I could glue it. But I like a lot of sewing in this journal. I like a lot of sewing in most of my journals, but Raggedy Ann is a sewn cloth doll with there's a lot of cloth elements in this book, so there will be a lot of sewing. This one's a larger one. I'll just sew these down to the top here. When I did the other one, I had to take a few stitches out on the back where it had crinkled up the back, and I had to take a couple stitches out and fix it, but I think it was because I had this piece on top, and so when I came to it, it just kind of pushed it down. But this time it was underneath, and it was fine. So the rest of this is going to be gluing, and I will do that later. looking in my drawer for something that, whoops, maybe some of that blue flowered trim. Ow. My tripod leg was in the way of one of the drawers. This little part in between makes me think of a spider. I don't like that. I like the trim though. I don't remember where I got it. I think somebody sent it to me. I don't think I bought it at a flea market or anything. I think somebody sent it to me, and I love it because it's unique and it's great for a project like this. I like that yellow piece. I'm going to put that one on the bottom so it doesn't crumple up. Okay, what else is sewn in here? Okay, I have a sewn pocket. There's supposed to be a piece of wallpaper printable in here. And I will make the pocket on this page. This one has a pocket like that with some eyelet and a large tag. And I like that patchwork fabric, so I think I'm going to make all 3 pockets out of one of those printed patchwork. I have 2 different ones. There's this one, and then there's this one. Want something that looks nice on that pinky kind of triangle print. That reminds me of Raggedy Ann's embroidered nose, actually. Try to tidy up what I have here while I'm looking. Maybe I don't want one of these patchwork ones because of that print. I have this one. Maybe I could use this one. Yeah. Let's try that. I have an apron with a little tiny pocket there. I think I have to sew this apron onto this piece. it will be 2 pockets and a little one right there. And I think I am just going to cut these little straps off. Just use the apron. Someone sent this to me, and it's a little doll apron, and seems like she said it actually came off of a Raggedy Ann doll. There's a dress too, which I want to see if I can just sew it into the signature and have a dress stuck in there somewhere, because I don't want to cut it up. This is adorable. Okay, now this side is going to be plain, so I could sew something on there. I'm getting to close to half an hour, so I'm going to stop this video and we will do this pocket in the next video. I'll be back.